Hello, welcome back to My Yoga My Way, where anyone can come to the mat and just enjoy the experience of yoga. Today we're going to be doing a 40-minute chair yoga to really awaken that spine. Yes, we've probably been sitting around this festive season, so we need to get a little bit of movement, whether you're in the office or just at home. It's a good way of just moving that spine in all directions so that you can get the benefit out of your day and still feel a little bit more mobile and not so stiff. So do this one any time of day and yeah, hopefully you'll really enjoy it. As usual with the chair yoga, we like to have a seat that is either with a fixed back and a fixed seat. But if you have one that is on a swivel, then that's fine. You just need to work with that. So let's get started, and we'll begin with facing to the outside or the open side of our chair, and we'll come into mountain pose or Tadasana, which is simply finding your balance on the seat, having your seat, your own seat, a little forward towards the edge so that you're not relying on the back for support. You are actually holding yourself up. Engage your feet into the ground and make sure that you are firmly engaging your arches of the feet from the outside arch across the balls of the feet up into this middle arch, and bring them up through to the legs, and we're finding a neutral pelvis here. So mountain pose is just taking a nice few breaths and just allowing ourselves to come to the mat. And you can soften your gaze or you can keep your eyes open, whatever's comfortable for you. And as we sit here, we welcome ourselves to the mat. We take a few nice deep breaths. And it's here that we can really set our intentions for our practice today, albeit a nice short practice. We like to invite ourselves with an intention in order for us to cultivate the mood of our practice. So for you, that might be just moving, bringing joy into the space today, happiness, whatever it may be. It could just simply be relaxation. Just repeat that intention to yourself as you're sitting here in Tadasana. And from here you can either keep your eyes closed or you may open them softly, keeping a soft gaze. And I invite you to do some belly breaths. So we'll do a 3-part breath here, bringing our hands to our lower abdomen. Taking in a nice large inhale with the expansion into the chest and the rib cage. And as you exhale naturally, you'll notice your belly recoiling back towards the spine. Inhale into the center of the chest. And just exhaling naturally. Inhaling one more time. And just exhaling naturally, noticing your belly button heading towards the spine. I'll invite you to take one hand onto your chest space. Keep one hand on your belly. And as we breathe in and our inhale, we have that sense of expansion. So our rib cage is really moving in all directions, up and down, side to side and back to front. And then we can feel that connection with our exhale. And as we're bringing our belly button back, we can have a slight contraction of the lower abdominal muscles. Inhale here. Exhale, drawing your belly button back towards the spine. From here we can place our hands down onto our lap and we'll start doing some shoulder circles. So we'll start bringing our shoulders up to our ears, back towards the back of our chair. And as we're doing that, we're wanting to really emphasize bringing our shoulder blades together. And we're doing that on our exhale, inhaling as we raise the shoulders up, exhale as we're taking the shoulders back and down. Really getting some movement into that top spine. And just going at your own body's pace. We'll do that once more in this direction. Take a moment as you come back to center, and we'll do that again in the opposite direction. So drawing our shoulders together up to our ears and bringing them down and around at the front. Inhaling as we're drawing back and exhaling as we're bringing them to the front. Again, you might have your gaze soft with eyes closed, or you can just keep your eyes soft, looking down to the ground or out a window, whatever may be comfortable for your body. A few more in this direction. You'll definitely start feeling the warm up in your shoulders. One more. And as you come back to center, just rest and take a few breaths here. We're going to do some arm rotations now. So we'll take our arms out shoulder height with our palms facing down. And on our inhale, we're going to rotate our arms back. So we're going to shine our palms up towards the ceiling. We'll then exhale as we rotate our arms forward with our palms coming back and around facing up. Keep going in these cycles, making sure you're breathing in on your first rotation, exhaling on your second rotation. Taking nice deep breaths. As you inhale, try and inhale through the nose. As you exhale, try and exhale through the nose. However, as always, if this is not comfortable for your body, you breathe through your mouth or nose as your body's telling you. And we're doing our inhale as we're pointing our palms skyward. On that first rotation, really have a sense of opening that heart space along the top of the chest. Hope that's starting to warm you up. And gently bring your hands down to your knees. If that's a little tight for you, just roll your shoulders back and around just to get a little bit more movement and blood through that shoulder muscle. We'll bring our arms out forward and we're wanting to do some hand clenches, getting some movements into our fingers, into our knuckles. And this will be a little firm on the arms as well. So do as many as you can. If you do need to drop your arms, you may just take them down by the side and do the same finger stretches and hand clenches down the side, whatever's comfortable. And certainly invite yourself to bring them back up after a little while. As we've got our hands in our really stretched pose, really try and push all the energy right through to the fingertips. And as we're clenching our fists, also try and draw that energy in. Now we don't want to have any hunching of our shoulders when we're doing this. So make sure your shoulders are down and around and away from your ears. And always keeping that elongation through the spine and growing tall through the crown of the head. Excellent. Coming into mountain pose or Tadasana and doing a little bit of an arm flow. So just dropping our hands down to our knees Take a breath here as we center in mountain pose again. On our inhale, we'll draw our hands down and around, up nice and tall, through the fingertips to the sky. Come into Anjali Mudra, down to the chest. And back around. Let's go down, around and up. Take a moment at the top. Anjali Mudra, down to the chest. 2 more cycles. Inhale as you're drawing your hands up skyward. Exhale as you're bringing your hands to chest center. And 1 more in this direction. I now invite you to take your hands to the back of the seat, whatever's comfortable for you. It might be the back of the chair or the seat of the chair. Still keeping a nice long spine, I'm inviting you to take your right leg out, pointing your right toe and flexing it back towards the ceiling. You may want to put a block underneath your foot if that is more comfortable for you. If you've got a blanket or a pillow, that's just as good. And as we're doing this, we're again a bit like the hand clenches. You're really wanting to send the intention of energy through the toes and really getting some blood moving through the calves and through your hamstrings and quads. Of course, with any yoga posture, if it starts to get too strong, you please come out of that pose at any time and just come back to mountain pose, just to a nice seated pose there, and take a few breaths until we're finished with our postures here. 2 more on this side, both up and down. And when we're finished, we'll just do a little rotation of our ankle in your chosen direction, and then just a little circle in the opposite direction also. You can now place the right foot down onto the mat. And we'll do that with the left. So again, securing your seat or back of the chair for support. Keeping nice and long in the spine, we'll start by pointing our left foot, and then we'll flex it up towards the ceiling. And we'll just start pumping that foot, getting that blood movement through the leg from bottom to top. All the while inhaling and exhaling through the nose. With every point of your toe, you're really sending energy through the toes and the tips of the toes. And with every exhale and flexing of the foot up to the ceiling, sending all of that energy through the heel of the foot. Few more in this direction. At the end, we'll do a circle in your chosen direction, and then another circle in the opposite direction. Once you've done that, take your left foot down to the mat. Find ourselves again in mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. I'm going to invite you to pigeon pose, Kapotasana. And we'll start on the right hand side. So we're going to lift the right leg and place our ankle on the top of our left knee. So our leg represents somewhat of a number 4. Finding nice length through our spine, through the top of our heads. And on our exhale, we're going to lean ourselves forward ever so slightly to your body's range. And just feel that nice stretch in the hamstrings of your right leg. You may want to vary this pose, and you can put a slight amount of weight on your right knee, pushing that downward, and just feeling a little more of a stronger stretch through those hamstrings on the right hand side. Again, if this pose or posture is too strong, you're more than welcome to put a cushion in between your torso and your legs, and that should help to lighten it up for you a little bit. And just exhaling as we bring ourselves forward. If you're able to, on every exhale, you might be able to drop your chest a little lower. Certainly don't scrunch your shoulders, keeping your spine nice and straight and your shoulders away from the ears. And as we come back up to seated here, keeping that right ankle on the left knee, we're just going to do some ankle rotations. So let's just do 6 in your chosen direction. And when you've done that number, moving in the opposite direction, getting a bit of movement through that ankle and calf. Once you've done those circles, you can bring your right foot back down to the mat, and we'll do the same on the left-hand side. Raising your left ankle to the back of your right knee. Find that number 4 shape. Sitting up nice and tall. And as we move forward on the exhale, we'll keep our spine nice and long and just feeling that stretch through the left hamstring. And please do not go past the point of pain. You'll feel a little discomfort, but we need to accept and invite that discomfort in order for our muscles to stretch, but certainly not pain. Come out of the pose at any time if you do feel pain. Again, with the variation, you can place your left hand on your left knee and push it down slightly to feel that stronger stretch. And with every exhale, you may be able to bring your body a little further down. All the while breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale as we're coming back up, and we'll do the ankle roll on this side now. So we'll take it for 6 circles in your first chosen direction. Excellent. Once you've done 6, take it in the opposite direction. Terrific. Placing our left foot on the mat, coming back into mountain pose. Readjust your seat if you need to. You can start removing the flesh out from underneath you so that you've got your sitting bones right on the edge of the seat there. Really gently placing the hands on the back of the knees, and we'll take our bodies over to the right and forward. So we're just doing some nice hip circles. You can do it as slowly and as deeply as your body will allow. We'll take an exhale as we come forward, inhaling as we're taking it back. And we'll do that 2 more times in this direction. As you come back up to center, take your body in the opposite direction, exhaling as you're taking it forward, inhaling as you're rotating around the back of the chair. Keeping that spine nice and long and keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. Terrific. 2 more in this direction. Coming back up to center, we'll start with some neck stretches. I will rotate around so that you can see what we're doing. So we're going to do some neck stretches now. Placing our hands on our knees lightly, growing long through the spine and making sure we're growing tall through the crown of our head. Just dropping our chin slightly towards our chest. We'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, we'll drop our right ear to our right shoulder. Inhale, coming back up to center, over to the left. Please do this as slowly as your body will need it. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, over to the left. And inhale as we come back to center. We'll take our chin around to our right shoulder. So as we inhale, exhale, twisting our chin around to our right shoulder. Inhale as we're coming back to center, exhaling over to the left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, and exhale over to the left. As we come back to center, we'll take our chin skyward. So we'll take an inhale here. Exhale as we send our chin skyward for a throat stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale, dropping our chin to our chest, feeling that stretch along the back of the neck. Inhale back to center. Exhale, chin skyward. Inhale back to center. And exhale, chin to chest. Bringing our head back to center now, we'll take our right hand to our left ear. We can take our left hand out to the side, palm facing down. You can have it on the back of the chair if you're facing in the same direction as I am. If not, you'll be holding it outward. And we're just going to exhale and drop our ear over to our right shoulder. And you'll feel that stretch all the way up your arm, up your neck. Certainly don't force your neck down with the hand that's on your ear. Just have it there ever so gently. Inhale, coming back up to center, we'll swap arms. Left hand onto our right ear, arm out with palm facing down. And on our exhale, we'll drop our ear gently over to the left. And we'll feel that stretch up through the biceps into the neck. Excellent. Coming back to center and having it back up. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. I'll turn myself around to the other side now. So this one here is to be done really slowly, and you've really got to listen to your body. Sitting up nice and tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. We can roll our shoulders up and back, slight coming together of our shoulder blades. And you may want to use your hands here as a guide. One on the belly and one on your lower back. And ever so gently, we want to inhale, and we're going to start tilting our pelvis forward and back. So we're not wanting to scrunch our back, and we're certainly not wanting to hyper sort of flex our spine. So sitting nice and tall, and it's just a very small movement that you should feel. So inhale, tilt your pelvis forward. Exhale, curling your tailbone back underneath. So tilting back and tilting forward. Might take a little bit of time to get used to this, and that's fine. It's going to be very slow, but once you start feeling and sending that intention into the pelvis, and with a little bit more practice on your daily yoga, incorporated into some of your practices, you'll find that you'll be able to adjust that pelvis tilt. And it's really about making sure that we're aiding our digestion, we're sending blood into the pelvic region for muscles, we're stimulating the spine and all the cord and nerves that are in and around the lower lumbar. And all the while inhaling and exhaling. 2 more in each direction. Excellent. Just come back to mountain pose. Find your neutral pelvis. Hands gently on your legs. Take a few breaths here. And as we come now into our latter half of our practice, we're going to do some lateral side stretches. So again, I'll turn around to face you. So we can have our hand down. We'll place our right hand down onto our seat. You can either grab underneath your seat or just have it down. Have your hands sort of in that kind of position, pointing down. And we're going to raise our left hand up, and we're going to take it over to the right hand side, feeling a nice lateral stretch up our left rib cage and through our hips on the left hand side. We'll bring our left hand down, and we'll come and do that on the right. Inhale as we take our right hand up, push through that right hand. Exhale as we do our lateral stretch over to the left. Feeling that beautiful stretch through the hip and rib cage. Taking our arms back down, one more each side. Inhale as we take our arms up, push through that left hand, and then exhale as we come over to the right. Exhale as we bring our arms down, and one more on the right. Push through the right hand, over to the left. Excellent. I will invite you to turn around to the side of your chair if you need to, or if you are able to, you may face the open side of your seat. We're coming into some seated side twists. We'll inhale, taking our hands up to the sky, and as we exhale, we're going to twist around to the left, placing our hand on the back of the chair and our right hand to the outside of the left knee. Keeping our chin and our sternum in line. And with every exhale, you might find that you can twist your body ever so slightly towards the left-hand direction. Inhale as we're coming back up to center. Exhale as we go over to the right. Sending our right hand to the back of the chair, our left hand is now to the outside of the right knee. Sending that intention of growing nice and tall through the spine. And with every exhale, you might find your body is able to twist a few little millimeters around further. Inhale as we come back to center, one more on each side. Exhale, coming around to the left. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, come up to center again, and last time on the right hand side. Excellent. Inhale, coming back to center, and we'll take our hands to our knees for some cat-cow. So on our inhale, we want to roll our shoulders up and back, pushing our chest forward, looking skyward. You'll be tilting your pelvis towards the front. As you exhale, you're going to tilt your pelvis back under, rounding your shoulders, looking through to the chest. Again, inhale into cow, shoulders back, elbows back, chin skyward. And exhale into cat. Take a nice big exhale here and empty that chest. Inhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Coming out of that pose, we'll come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. We're going to take our arms to the back of our chair, and this will be our cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Just anchor those feet slightly. Think nice and tall through the spine, and as you grab your back of the chair, send your chin skyward, send your shoulders back so that you're stretching along the top of the chest, smiling as we're doing this one with a nice mantra of I am strong. Repeat that mantra to yourself for 6 breaths in this pose, cobra. Terrific. When you're ready to come out of the pose, come into our mountain pose, hands gently on our knees. Let's do some more cat and cows. Coming into cow on the inhale, cat, rounding our shoulders on the exhale, cow, and cat. 4 more times in each direction. Exhaling as you're doing cat, inhaling as you're doing cow. Last cycle, coming back to mountain pose when you're finished after your final cat pose. Fantastic. We're going to take our hands down by the side with our fingertips pointing to the ground. And on our exhale, we're going to roll our body down. So keeping that spine straight to begin with. We then want to roll the shoulders, bringing our bodies forward, over our chest onto our thighs, and just allow our arms to hang. And once you have your head in between your legs there, or your knees, just allow your head to relax at the end of the neck. Now again, if this is a too strong a pose for you, please introduce the cushion onto your lap. And you can roll down over the cushion and onto the cushion, allowing that to be your support. But just ensure that your hands can hang by the side. You can give your head a little yes or no movement very gently. But just allow the body to become heavy at this point and enjoy the space that your shoulders are providing away from your spine. You may be able to look through the back of the legs of the chair. You can keep your eyes soft if that's what's comfortable for you. And as we think about coming back up, we're going to engage our core. So you're going to contract the lower abdominal muscles to support that spine. And on our inhale, we're going to take ourselves back up ever so gently into mountain pose. And I'd like you to take a few moments here. We're regaining our balance. Take 4 deep, even breaths in the nose and out the mouth. One more. Fantastic. We're going to come now onto our feet and we're going to do some standing poses. So there's 2 ways you can go about this. You can have your facing the seat itself, or you can have your seat. You can either walk around to the back or you can just turn your seat around. So whatever's comfortable for you, it's really about the level in which you can bend forward. So please find your comfortable position with your chair or your prop. And we're going to come into knee to nose. So with this one, I ask you to pop your hands or either fingertip or flat onto the chair of your seat or back of your chair. And I'm going to invite you to step slightly away from the chair. Just find your balance here in a comfortable position. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, we'll invite our right foot back. We can point our toes, keeping our spine straight. And on our exhale, we're going to invite our knee up to our chest, and we can curl our head down with the intention of our forehead to knee. Sending our leg back on our inhale, and exhale, rounding our back, sending our knee through the chest with our intention for head to knee. 2 more times on this leg. And exhale, knees coming under. You can round your spine as much as you need. Inhale as you send the leg back for the last time. And exhale, a big exhale as you're sending your knee through to your head, inviting your forehead to your knee. And inhale as you take your foot down. You can paddle your feet here if that was a little strong on your left leg. We're going to be doing that on the left-hand side now. So just take a moment to engage your feet, keeping that spine straight. On our inhale, we're going to send our left leg back, pointing our toes. Exhaling, we're going to bend our knee, roll it up through to the chest and trying to meet our head to our knee. Inhale, as you're bringing your left leg back, try and keep your spine and leg as straight as they can. And exhale, bringing your knees through the chest. Inhale as you send your left leg back. And bending the knee on the exhale, bringing it through the chest. We're going to do one more on this side. Inhale, sending that leg back. And a big exhale, sending our knees to our nose. Well done. Let's bring our left leg down. Again, you can paddle the legs. Feel that nice movement in through the hips and the knees. We're going to come into downward dog now. So again, just step another little step towards the short edge of your mat. And with downward dog, we're wanting to keep our back nice and straight, but you can bend your knees as much as you need. So you choose the level in which you want to bend your knees at. On our inhale, we're going to bend our knees, sending our hips back. And on our exhale, if you wish, you can straighten those legs and send your head down towards the ground so that you can gaze back through the body. And just stay here for a few breaths. Inhale as we're bringing our bodies back up to tabletop. And we'll do that again. So inhale, bend your knees, sending your hips back towards the short edge of the mat. And exhale, you can straighten your legs and taking your head through your arms, looking towards the back of the mat there. And this is a really nice one because it's an overall stretch for the whole back of your body. So if you've felt a little bit of tension through this practice, this is a good space to send your breath and energy into those tight spots. As you exhale, sending the intention into those parts of the body that you find are a little bit more tense or tight. Excellent. Just coming back up to tabletop. I invite you to step your left foot towards the chair, and we're going to just rotate our right foot so that it's pointing to the long edge of the mat. Now, depending on your gait, you might need to move your chair slightly away from you. We're coming into Trikonasana, which is triangle pose. So again, you might be at the top of your chair, that's fine. You might be at the seat. This time we're going to straighten our left leg. Okay, and when you're ready, we're going to send our right arm skyward. We'll take our gaze towards the ceiling into triangle pose. If this is too strong a pose on your left leg, bend your knee as much as you need. Terrific. Bringing your arm back down to the chair, stepping your right foot up towards the chair, and we'll send our left leg back. Do the same thing on this side. So right foot pointing to the chair. Left foot will have our pointing to the long edge of the mat. Straighten your right leg, and when you're ready, send your arms skyward. Gaze should be towards the ceiling, and if that's too strong for your neck, you can either look forward or look down to the mat. Trikonasana. Terrific. Bring your left hand down onto the seat. Let's step our left foot up to the chair, and I invite you to bend your knees slightly as we bring our hands down and up to the sky. Exhale as we take our arms down to our sides. We're going to come back down into seated now and end our practice with a seated Shavasana. So again, you might want to have a bolster or a pillow under your feet. You might find you want a cushion underneath your chair or your seat, and that's fine too. In this one here, I ask you to actually lean back now onto the back of your chair. You can place your hands on your belly and extend your legs. If you need a bolster under your ankles, please do so. And you can just take your head back in line with your neck. And we're coming into that neutral Shavasana now. So you might draw your chin in towards your chest slightly, and that's really to help elongate the neck. With our hands on our lower tummy, we'll take a few deep breaths here. In through the nose with the expansion into the chest, and exhaling all the way out, drawing our belly button back towards our spine. Two more breaths here. And as we're coming to the end of our practice, I want you to bring awareness to your body in your space. Just be aware of the noises that are around you, both inside and outside your room. Be aware of your physical presence on the mat and sitting in the chair. And we want to start getting a little bit of movement into our toes and our hands. So we'll drop our hands down by our side. I invite you to sweep your hands upward, skyward, hands in Anjali or prayer position, back down to the chest and back down and around. So sweeping those arms up and bringing our hands to chest. Two more times. Big inhale as you're sweeping your arms skyward. Exhale for a cleansing breath down to the chest. And one more. A big inhale here. And a big exhale. I invite you to bend your knees, anchor your feet on the mat. Use the seat of the chair if you need to allow yourself to come up to a comfortable Mountain Tadasana pose. I'll turn this way to see you all. And I invite you to place your hands to your heart center and take one big even breath through the nose and out through the nose. I invite you to take your hands to your third eye, your Ajna chakra, for clarity of thought and purity of the mind. I invite you to take your hands to your throat chakra, your Vishada chakra, for purity of the speech and clarity of the word. May you always speak the truth. And finally to your heart chakra, your Anahata chakra, for purity of love and compassion and the ability to forgive. Lightly bowing your head, I thank you for allowing me to guide you through this practice today, and may this feeling of your intentions for this practice carry you for the rest of the day. And I look forward to seeing you again on the mat via my YouTube channel, My Yoga My Way, or through our website and any of our online classes. May you have a great day, and I'll see you again on the mat soon. Namaste.